Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So previously we've built this $150 FPV freestyle drone. So this was like a budget build. And I took it out for a flight the other day. There was noise, but it's good noise because the noise that we have is not on the 5-volt regulator, which is affecting the camera and the OSD, which is amazing. So here we don't have a 12-volt regulator on this board. And what we're going to do is, since we're taking the direct power from the battery to the VTX, and that's where the noise is, it's on the VTX. So what we're going to do is actually, let's remove this top here. So I'm giving it power straight from the battery terminals, and that's where the noise is coming from, even though we have a low ASR capacitor. That's totally fine. So the easy fix of what we're going to do is we're going to install this little tiny little Matek voltage regulator. You could install any kind of tiny voltage regulator. However, I found this to be the cleanest from my testing. And I have been testing low LC filters, everything I could find on Banggood and everywhere I got them for testing. And I found this guy to be currently the best setup because we really don't have much room to put an LC filter in here. However, once you combine basically a good low ASR capacitor with a voltage regulator, it should clean everything right up. So, all right. So let's talk about this little tiny voltage regulator. This one has a 5-volt and a 12-volt output. So it's default by 5-volt, and then if we bridge these two right here with solder, it'll become a 12-volt. So we would put the positive from the battery and then the ground from the battery, and then we could take the ground to the VTX and give it the power to the VTX. So what we're going to basically do is just cut the VTX power line right here, and then just solder it onto this guy and solder this side, and that should completely clean our video out. However, I'm not going to have the video footage of me flying it now. It'll be in the next video, and I will show you the noise and the flight footage of this guy right now before we begin this process. So yeah, so let me get that up on the screen and we'll check it out. Alright guys, so here, just armed it. As you can see, there's a little bit of noise right now, and it was totally fine here, but just when you go full throttles and you do some kind of movements, it just gets kind of bad, and that's why I only flew it once. Other than that, I was too lazy to actually tune it too, because the USB is in the front here. So overall, it was flying very good. I'll show you the clean video footage from the GoPro after this, but as you can see, there's noise, but the best thing of all, there is no OSD flickers, there's no OSD noise, so that means the 5-volt regulator is pretty clean. And that's a very big plus here. It flew actually very good, other than the noise, but when I was flying it, I was just very happy to see that just the noise is just on the VTX, because that's just a really easy quick fix here. It's not going to be that difficult, and it's not even that bad. I don't know if you guys remember the HGLRC F4 Flame with the F80 motors. That one was just terrible noise. So here, this should fix it. However, that one had some filtering, and that's why just adding one low ASR capacitor on that board cleaned that up. This one has no filtering for the VTX, and we're just taking the direct raw input power of the VTX. And so right now we do have the low ASR capacitor. We just need to add a voltage regulator. And like I said before, the Matek, the small Matek voltage regulator found to be the cleanest, and I just trust their components. Lately they're just amazing. Everything works. I don't have any problem with any of them. So overall, right now, we're gonna cut the video here. This is as bad as it gets. It doesn't get any worse than this, which is good. We don't have any blackouts either, which is absolutely perfect. And blackouts should not be expected since we're running off the power of the battery and nothing else, not a regulator. So yeah, as you can see here, you know, the low end throttle also wasn't there. Just like usually I'm used to around 40%. I could pick it up off the ground, not crash it. Here I had to, like, I don't know, push it up to like 50-60%, 20% more than usual, just because they're 2600 kV motors, and don't forget they're very cheap, and then 2205 motors. So but overall, you can enjoy this, and I really would have enjoyed it if it was if the noise just wasn't there. I was afraid to take it into the trees and just mess around with it, because I just don't want to break it just yet. I want to at least have clear video, so if I break it, it's my fault. So here we're just going to try to get it to run as perfect as possible. And later on, I'm planning on actually upgrading these motors to the 2306 2400 kV Racerstar. Those are just amazing. I really love them. They perform absolutely amazing for $32 motors. I would never expect. They perform like $100 motors. However, the durability, I can't promise you that it's there, and I'm sure it's not there, but they're very good motors overall. And yeah, so let's get started and let's put that voltage regulator on now. Alright guys, so here's the Matek board. So first thing, we want to actually activate the 12 volt regulating part, which is bridging these two together. However, I know you've noticed that I had pins on before, but that was when I was testing, and that's why I had them, just for easy testing for me. So right now I just removed them. And we're going to get some solder, and we're actually going to bridge those to enable the 12 volt. Alright. Alright, so I had to get some kind of help here because it was just too flimsy. And these are very, very tiny. Alright, there we go. So now the 12 volt is activated here. Let's quickly zoom out. Put this guy to the side. Now we come grab our flight controller and wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them right here. 2 wires. And then we will take it from there. So, okay, that should be done. However, these, I mean, if you're using the same VTX as me, these wires are very bad quality. And if you use a stripper, you're just going to ruin the wires. And what I recommend doing is actually using a lighter to strip it off here. So that's what I'm about to do now. There we go. There we go. We're going to do the same for all of them. There we go. This one as well. Okay. And here. Perfect. So now, I always recommend twisting them. Twisting them could really save your quad from problems. So we're going to twist them, and then we're going to add solder to these guys, so we can make them kind of like a, I don't know, it's because we're not actually inserting them like a pin. So, see, this is very annoying right here. Let's see if I could remove that with this guy. That's better. Perfect. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is add solder to these wires. And there we go. And then we're going to trim them off to the exact length that we need. Okay. That should be good. All right. Okay, so we have the voltage regulator here. And now what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to add more. Do you want this solder on the back side or should we do it on the front side? I don't know. Let's do it back here. So we're going to add a little bit of solder to this guy just to, you know, have good connection. It's going to be good. Always add fresh solder. I like adding fresh solder always. Not much, just a little bit. Just a little dab here and there. There we go. It's perfect. So it's going to be a bit tricky because we have the wires that are already on the thing, so we're going to have to figure out a way to hold this in place. And I do recommend helping hands, but I'm going to try it without helping hands, see if I can get it right. So as you can see here, 7 to 21 volt input, and that should be more than enough for rocking a 4S, which is 16.5. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get the battery side and we're going to hit it. Perfect. Now we're gonna get the ground. We're gonna do the same thing. So here's ground. Perfect. Okay. Now the out ground. Actually, I'm going to trim this a little bit more because it's very. Oh crap! Maybe we trimmed it too much here. Yeah, we did. All right, this is not a problem. Let's just start with this guy then. So we're going to add the power output here. So this is the wire that's going to the VTX. Okay, that's good. We're gonna have to redo this wire here. And you know what I forgot? I forgot to put a heat shrink. That's just awesome. Trim him down a bit. That's alright. Since they're all on one side, the heat shrink should be pretty simple. We'll just drop it in from the top here. Perfect. Now, in theory, and in reality, hopefully, we should have very clean FPV footage, which we can enjoy this quad. So let's just grab a little heat shrink. Let's see if this one will do just fine. Yeah, it'll be good. Let's double check these wires that they're gonna be okay. Okay, they seem good. All right, let's cut this guy to length. About here's good. Perfect. Turn off the soldering iron. So after this, right now, I'm going to show you the footage, the same footage I showed you, but through the GoPro, just to see what kind of performance it has, because I was able to punch out and just go full throttle here and there without risking really ruining it and breaking it. So just to give you an idea of these motors. However, I do recommend if you're a beginner, it's going to be very good. This is absolutely, it's pretty fast. The low end power is not there. It's not what I'm used to. So yeah, but overall it's going to be good. I'm really going to enjoy this one. So I'm actually possibly just going to keep these motors on until I break them, or they just die out on me or something. But overall, you will be able to enjoy this. However, you're going to give it a little bit more power than usual, and it's surprisingly very efficient, so that's very good. And you don't need some high C-rated batteries. It'll just do just fine on a 4S. However, it needs some tuning. I'll be tuning it next time when we take it out for the flight to test this setup right here. And once I tune it up and I get the correct PIDs, I get a nice PIDs, I'll share those with you guys, so you guys can have like a starting point with this if you need it. And yeah, so overall that's it. We should be good here. So I mean, yeah, that's it. We have 12-volt regulator connected. Now the VTX should be clean, as you can see. The voltage from the battery, capacitor, regulator to the VTX, and that's it. We should have very good flying good quality video coming through. Hopefully no noise at all. So that'd be even just super awesome. And that's it, guys. So that's going to conclude it for this video. And if you guys have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to let me know. And if you guys like these little cheap builds, I'll try to get some more cheaper builds in for you. I found some nice cheaper components also. Like I found some nice actually Eachine has this nice new CCD 700 TVL camera, and it has the the controller for the OSD up here on it, and it has like a sort of a GoPro lens on it pre-installed. So that one's caught my attention, and I'm actually probably gonna order one or two, test them out, and then if they're good, actually I don't mind using those instead of the Foxeers if they have a wide dynamic range and they have all the options of the Foxeer and the Foxeer Clone. It's a good option. I mean, it saves. The GoPro lenses cost me like what, $7, $8. So if that comes pre-installed, that's good money saved actually. And it's the same HS1177 form factor, so that's also a big plus. And yeah, so that's going to conclude it for this video, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful. And if you guys have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to let me know. And I will see you next time. See you guys. Take care. Happy flying.
Woo!